Hi, my name is Denise Chambers. Welcome to my channel, and if this is your first time to my channel, happy to have you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so you can see our upcoming videos. Now, I wanted to take this moment to speak with you about closing costs. How can you calculate your down payment and to know exactly what your closing cost is? After all, other than having amazing credit or credit for that is required for approval, you definitely want to know how much money do I need to have to actually purchase the home. And I'm going to take the moment and go through with you. This is an exact figure from one of the clients that we recently closed on their home in South Florida. Now, this property is actually a townhouse, and we actually purchased it for $240,000. So I'm going to take you through the scenario. If you plan to use an FHA loan, which is a federally backed loan, or you're using a conventional loan, what would be your down payment? So I'm going to show you how to calculate that, and then I'm going to dig deeper into this to show you what the closing cost actually was for this transaction.
When all you need is a friend. No, I won't ever hear excuses. We're in this till the end.
Okay, so let's jump right into it. I know you want to know exactly what your down payment is going to be if you're purchasing a home. So we're going to work with the scenario, which is the $240,000 house, okay? So if you're purchasing FHA, you're going to require 3.5% down payment. If you're going conventional, you're going to require 5% down. So I'm going to show you the difference between the two, and you can determine which one makes sense to you in terms of down payment. So this property that we're working with is actually $240,000. And since the customer is going FHA, it's 3.5%. So that is going to be equal to $8,400. So this is for FHA. I'm actually going to show you how you can do it on your calculator as well. Now, if you decide that you want to go conventional because you have the credit score that is required for that, times at least 5%, and that is going to equal to $12,000. Because there you go. So that is one part of the equation that is going to be needed to add to your closing costs. So if you're going FHA, you're going to need $8,400 as your down payment. And if you're going conventional, you're going to need at least $12,000 for a $240,000 house. So as I go through, I'll tell you a little bit about the difference between conventional as well as FHA. So now you know, once you're searching, whether it's on Zillow or Realtor.com, or your agent is actually sending you property, you can at least calculate what your down payment is going to be. Or if you know what price point you're looking at purchase, then you know exactly what that amount should be. Closing costs will vary depending on your state, because there are some additional expenses that may be unique to your situation and to your particular state. All right, so let's jump into the closing costs. Now, let's get right into this actual loan estimate for this borrower that actually closed. We can see that this borrower purchased this home for $240,000. We already calculated the down payment, which is $8,400. So we're going to take away, subtract that $8,400 from the $240,000, and this is the figure that we actually have remaining. Now you're also seeing something that says upfront MIP. Now what is that? Now MIP is actually mortgage insurance premium. This is an insurance that is used to protect the lender from any loss, just in case the borrower is not able to make additional payments or make his monthly payments. Now, this insurance is actually 1.75% of the actual cost itself for the home. That's a hefty sum. So most buyers, what they tend to do is they tend to roll the cost for the insurance in the loan itself. As you can see, this is what this borrower did, and then what we have left or remaining is the basic loan amount that the borrower is actually taking. So even though the house costs $240,000, the borrower is not actually taking $240,000 as a loan. Now, let us look at the estimated closing costs for this buyer. Now, what are closing costs? Closing costs are all those costs associated with the buyer actually getting this particular loan. If you have not seen our video before, check out our previous video that spoke about closing costs and explained in greater detail what those are. Now, for this particular transaction, the buyer actually paid $500 for the appraisal. Now, the appraisal is used to determine what that property is worth. What you need to understand is that when you're taking a loan, the lender or the loan amount will not be more than what the property is worth. So if the appraiser goes out to the property and the property is actually appraised at $210,000, that is how much the bank will actually give you for this particular house itself. Now, another thing that I'm seeing on the closing or estimated closing cost is the title insurance for not just the buyer but also for the lender. The lender wants to protect themselves. Now, what are title insurance? Title insurance are there to make sure that if there is any error on the title, because people do make mistakes, then they are protected. They are protecting not just the lender but also the buyer as well. Now, what are some of the problems that can happen with the title to make sure that the title is not free, clear, and marketable? For example, someone should have signed and they did not sign. For example, when the person who is recording the information in the clerk of court, they did not do a proper job, or God forbid, now the buyer is now settled into the home and is enjoying the home and creating memories, and someone should come and knock on the door and say, hey, this is still my home, I did not sell it. Or you find out that there was someone else that should have signed and did not sign and still have a right to that home. So you want to make sure that if that should happen, then the insurance will be able to take care of that. It basically gives you a peace of mind as a buyer and protect the lender in this instance. Another cost that is associated with the transaction is DocuStamp. Okay, DocuStamp is needed for when you're transferring your document from one person to the next, in this instance the buyer. Just like when you're sending out a piece of mail, you have to have a stamp attached for it to be mailed to the recipient. The same thing goes when you're purchasing a property. And in Florida, in Broward County, where this home was purchased, the DocuStamp is actually 70 cents on the dollar. So we're seeing that the DocuStamp for this transaction is $824.79. There's also another tax right here, which is the intangible tax. Now, every time you take out a new mortgage, you will have to pay an intangible tax. It's like a sales tax, and it's normally paid on the loan amount in this instance. There's also a survey charge that is there. This charge is $375. You will also have to pay, as the buyer, a fee to review your document. That is, the underwriter will review your document to make sure that you can actually get the loan. And this lender also charge an admin or processing fee. And the grand total for this, which is the closing cost so far, is $6,930. That is the cost associated with you actually getting this particular loan. There's one more fee or one more cost that we need to attach to give you your total closing costs that you will be needing for this transaction, and those are the prepaids. Now, what are prepaids? Prepaids, as the name suggests, is payments that you will have to make in advance. And the three prepayments that you're seeing for this transaction would be homeowners insurance, prepaid interest, and also property tax. Now, once the buyer have closed, they will have to open an escrow account, and in that escrow account they will also have to make sure that the prepaids are there to pay in advance for certain things. So there you have it. Those were all the costs associated with closing this transaction for $240,000. We're talking about the down payment, we're talking about the closing costs, and of course the prepaids. Now the grand total is $19,024.25. That is what the buyer would need to have to close this transaction. But did the buyer actually use that amount? No, he did not. The actual closing cost was just a little bit over $10,000. Where did the extra $9,000 come from? It came from the seller through the form of a seller's concession. So there are different ways that you can go around lowering the closing costs if needs be once you're working with a real estate agent. Now I'm going to share with you some additional stuff that you can do to make sure you lower that closing cost. So in addition to getting a seller's concession, depending on the market, what's going on in the market, if it's a seller's market, if it's a buyer's market, you could also get funds from family members or friends known as a gift. You have to make sure though that this gift is not seen as a loan that you will have to repay at a later date. You could also check with your county and with your city to see if they have any down payment assistance program available that you could also use for this transaction. Now the down payment assistance, sometimes it can go for the down payment as it says, or it may go towards your closing costs. It all depends on the type of program that you applied for based on what is available to you. So there are many options available to you to actually go ahead and purchase your home. Don't be scared, don't be alarmed, because if you're working with an expert, a real estate agent, and a lender, they should be able to guide you through the process and help you to get one step closer to owning your own home and making that dream a reality.